Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Great Escapades Chronicles. So, we're down to the last two escapades. So, they better be good. Okay, on Briar Road, episode 7. Oh, Briar Road, yes. A chilling escapade about a shilling's escape from the clutches of Rolly and Pat Beat. Oh, we'd only just found it on the street. Gina the pickpocket is the obvious suspect, but Leon's Cage, Sholmes and Iris happen to be passing, and the plot quickly thickens. Oh my god. Alright. "30th of April, 12:20 p.m. Briar Road." "Sir, Constable Rolly Beat, reporting for duty, sir." "Oh, thanks to the good offices of Lord Van Zeeks. I'm back on my beat here, in the capital, doing my best for the good citizens of London, sir." "Oh, my Rolly, back in his puppy's uniform. You couldn't look any more handsome if you tried." "Oh, my love, you say the sweetest things." "Oh, Pat. Oh, Rolly." "To us, Lord Van Zeeks isn't the Reaper of the Bailey at all." "Oh no, of course not. He's the patron saint of puppies." "Oh, the patron saint. Oh yes, Pat. You're right, my darling. Keeping us in pocket, he is." Keeping us in pocket? What does it mean? "On my first day back on the job, what did I find in the gutter? A shilling, my love. A whole shilling." "Oh, Rolly, I always believed in you. I always knew one day you'd find some big small change." "Oh, with just that shilling, I could buy you a cheap bunch containing a single flower, my sugar." "Oh, a single flower. Oh, how romantic." "Oh, but I'm so sorry, Pat. Only moments ago, that shilling disappeared." "Oh, disappeared? But how, my love? How?" "Oh, I think maybe. Oh, I'm not sure." "Oh, it was this girl here, sir. You swiped my precious shilling, didn't you? You cheeky little diver." "Oh, blimey. You took your time getting round to me, you didn't you? I thought that lovey-dovey stuff weren't even gonna end." "So, a shilling, you say? Lifting from you, where it don't know nothing about it. Where's the evidence, eh?" "Oh, right there. The evidence is dancing around on the back of your hand, young lady. You stole it from me. You lifted it from my pocket just now. You've got a nerve stealing from a puppy." "Oh, cobblers, this coin's mine. How could you know anyway? How could you know if it was taken just now or not?" "Oh dear me, you don't get it, do you? We've hardly got a penny to our name, so that coin felt as heavy to me as a bar of gold." "Hey, I'm telling you, the moment it left my pocket, I knew. I felt myself get a good few pounds lighter." Ah! Yep, that coin was cut by blood, sweat, and tears all over it. Hmm. What's the matter with you, Mr. Naruto? Me? Sorry? Oh, wait, we're here? When a lady's in trouble, a true gent's supposed to be there to help. Straight away, not an hour later. This isn't my fault. I haven't stolen anything. And what about you, Sholmes? I thought you were supposed to be a great detective. Dear me, Miss Strad. You took your time getting around to me, didn't you? I thought that long dispute was never going to end. Oh, you only said, give us a minute, when we spotted you over the road and said hello. And that was 10 minutes ago, Genie. We've just been standing here listening to you quarrel with this puppy. Oh, I do beg your pardon, madam. Oh, we shouldn't be troubling the public with Polly's business. Oh, but that shilling belongs to us, doesn't it, Rolly? Of course it does, my love. It's just for you and me, my darling. This was just supposed to be a nice stroll with Iris and Mr. Scholes before afternoon tea. Why did we have to run into another fiasco on Briar Road? I don't really see how we could be of any help, Gina. There's no way of knowing who the coin really belongs to if it was just dropped in the gutter. Oh, I wouldn't be so sure of that, Bruno. What? I have a feeling I might know the answer to the question of whose coin that is. Ah, my bright young fellow lodger. Let us hear your deduction. Well, there's actually a reason why I suggested a stroll down Briar Road. Oh, what reason? You see, I was here yesterday and, well, I dropped a little something. So I wanted to come and look for it while enjoying an afternoon stroll. Wait, you dropped something? You don't mean... It was the pocket money that Hurley gave me. Oh, what's this, Iris? You dropped that, did you? Oh, I'm sorry. I went to the market on Lion Street yesterday to pick up some herbs, you see. But on the way, I must have dropped it. The 1 shilling coin you gave me. Oh. Oh. Oh, 1 bobbit. Bobbit. 1 bobbit. Yes, and when I thought back over the route I took, I realized I must have dropped it here. Constable, you haven't seen it, have you? It's all my pocket money, and now it's gone. Oh. Well, I'm afraid I don't know anything about that, young lady. What? What rotten luck, dropping your money like that? Sorry. I dare say the constable and his companion could give you a run for your money with their wide eyes. If it's all the same to you, Mr. Scholes, I think I'd prefer not to be used as a yardstick for looking guilty. Well, this stuff really in it, Iris. You dropped it, so it ain't yours no more. Anyway, you know what they say. What goes around comes around. So don't feel bad. Bad luck, Iris. It doesn't look like you're going to get your coin back. Oh, I can't believe I've lost it. And straight after Hurley gave it to me as well. Yes, regrettable indeed. I seem to recall that particular coin was rather significant. Significant? How? What do you mean, significant? Oh, to be specific, it was especially significant to you, Runo. What? Significant to me? You don't mean... It was the coin from last night's wager? Wait, what? The very same, my dear fellow. Ooh, what's this then? What wager? Oh, it was a game of poker. A duel between Hurley and Runo. Poker? What a tricky card game, Yamin. As a lawyer, I have the perfect poker face. You'd never be able to tell what I'm thinking, said he. Oh yeah, we never know when he's in a trial. But depriving Mr. Naruhodo of his entire fortune was even easier than finding that missing thoroughbred. Oh, it's just so infuriating. Reliving it now still makes me grit my teeth. Sorry, Iris. I had every intention of paying you back the money I owe you, but you'd have to wait, I'm afraid. Oh yes, I know. Don't worry. Next month is fine. There's a lot of talk of money in this game. Oh, let me guess, Odo. Your whole fortune. Oh, it was 1 whole shilling. My entire monthly stipend. And I lost all of it. Wait, what? A shilling? For a month? Wow. As I handed it over to Mrs. Sholmes, I gritted my teeth so hard my gums started to bleed. Wait, what? Please, no. Don't exaggerate. That's a horrible image. Yeah, it is. Oh, what about a liar who borrows money from a 10-year-old girl? Now that's a horrible image. Why do I feel like my reputation? Hold on. Why do I feel like my reputation with this couple has just fallen through the floors? There are a few things more invigorating than taking a man for all he's worth. Wait, what? Oh, don't be so pleased with yourself, Hurley. It's not as if Runo ever had a chance of winning. Wait, what? What do you mean by that? Well, using the special ink I developed, anyone could. Thank you, Iris. That will do. I'm sure this conversation is proving very dull for everyone. What's done is done. The game is over now. There's no point in crying over spilled milk. Special ink, you say? Well, sir, that sounds like the sort of risky business that's right up my alley. Oh, Rolly, I love your dauntless spirit. You laugh in the face of danger. Come on then, Iris. Spill it. What's this special ink about it? Well, it's what's sometimes called invisible ink. All you have to do is write the suit and number on the reverse side of every card. And with the air of some special glasses, the whole game is not bad to you. Wait, you were wearing glasses last night, weren't you, Mrs. Holmes? You said something along the lines of, "My eyesight appears to have suddenly worsened." And the moment you failed to question that... Oh, and the moment you failed to question that as odd was the moment I knew I had won the game. Oh my god. Oh, mind games, was it? Trying to throw me off with your eccentric ways? So, you're telling me Sholmes could see every card what Odo had? What? But that's not mind games. That's blatant cheating. My dear fellow, what an accusation. Would you honestly consider me a cheat? Please, I prefer trickster. Whatever you call it, the game doesn't count now. Understand, Mr. Sholmes? Oh dear me. Well, out of respect for the bad grace with which you take defeat, allow me to return your shilling. Oh, did you hear that, Gina? So give it here. Hey, leave me out of this. This here one bob bit was mine from the start. No question. No, sir. That there one bob bit was lifted from this here Bobby's pocket only a few minutes ago. So I keep saying. Come on then. What's the evidence? The law, right, is all about evidence. I know my stuff. You see, Mr. Naruto, use a trite excuse in court, and others will parrot it. Only, whenever I do say that in court, it isn't as a trite excuse, you know. Oh, as I said, sir, that coin has got my blood, sweat, and tears all over it. Oh, that's right, it has. Rolly's blood, sweat, and tears are the evidence. Blood, you say? In that case, it's time for this. Oh yes, the smoke gun, the smoking gun. Oh, do you think? Well, if there's any trace of blood on that coin, we'll soon know about it. Alright, Jamie, hold very still. What? Oh. Oh, look at that. See there in the coin? It's clearly changed color. In other words, there is blood on this coin. Oh, once again, as I said, sir, that will be my blood, sweat and tear. Oh, wait, I've seen blood turn that color before. Oh, yes, I know whose it is. Oh, wait, I've seen blood turn that color before. Yeah, I know whose it is. I know whose coin it is. What? The rightful owner of this bloodstained shilling is... Rono. Me? And from the appearance of the blood, I would say it is quite fresh, left within the last 24 hours. Within the last... then in that case... So, this is the coin what Sholmes out of Odo last night in the poker game. Oh, Rono, do you mean you really did make your gums bleed? told you I was so infuriated to lose. I had to grit my teeth as I handed over the money. Oh, blimey. You're as hard up as me by the sound of it. But I thought you had the proper job. Oh, come on, Gina. Just hand it over, would you? The shilling. That's rightfully mine. Oh, fine. All right then. Just stop your bleeding staring. Ah, I finally have it back. It's like a dream come true. I nearly had that one in the bag and all. Oh, that's wonderful news, Bruno. I'm so happy for you. Now then, as you promised. I'd like my money back, please. The shilling I lent you before. You did say that you'd pay it back out of this month's pocket money, didn't you? Oh, yeah. Well, then I suppose. My dear fellow, do be kind to who comes. Oh, looks like that shilling was always destined to be taken from you, sir. Oh, for some reason, the phrase "serves you right" is floating around in my head. So, Iris, as promised, here is the shilling I owe you. Oh, you're repaying me already? Well, thank you. Next month would have been fine, though. Oh, what's it all about anyway? What are you lending all the money for? Yes, well actually, it's because I went to the Lime Street market yesterday to buy herbs. For Rono. Herbs? For Odo. Oh yes, the tea Mr. Sato-san left behind is top quality, Gyokuro tea. But it's just so bitter. So when Iris suggested mixing it with some herbs to make it more palatable, I asked her to buy me some. That's right, we've made a special Japanese herbal tea with the leftover gyokuro. I'm going to call it Susie's Special Blend. I do hope you'll all try it. How the excruciating bitterness clings to the throat if you can persuade the bright green gloop to leave the cup. Oh wow, it sounds quite delicious. Yeah, right. Well, it would appear the shilling's brief adventures are now at an end. Adventures? You must agree, my dear fellow, that the coin has made a considerable journey since last night. Oh, let's see. Originally, it was a coin I was supposed to give to Iris to pay her for the herbs. But then, in our pocket jewel last night, it passed to you, Mr. Sholmes. Gave it to Iris as spending money. Oh, but then I dropped it sometime yesterday. Oh, then my beloved Rolly found it a little while ago and picked it up. Oh, before it was lifted from my pocket by this here diver. I then used my favorite gun to show up the blood that was on it. Oh, and let's sleep about Sholmes' little scam in his card game last night. The annulment of which resulted in the coin returning to the ownership of Mr. Naruhodo. Allowing me to pay Iris the money I owed her, after all. For the herbs she'd bought in order to make Susie's special blend tea. Oh, and now, after all that, the coin is resting safely in my pocket. Yeah, you're right. That was an adventure. But what are we supposed to take away from it? Oh, that is 1 shilling coin belongs to Iris, and Iris alone, I think. I can't fault your observation, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, you know what they say. What goes around, comes around. Why do I get the feeling that Iris knew it was coming around to her from the very beginning? Ha 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 ha! Priceless, as they say. Well then, my dear fellow, how about this evening we indulge in some bitter tea and a bitter rematch? I'll even allow you to stake the coming month's spending money in advance. I fold. My God, Sholmes. In the Bailey. Episode 8. This escapade takes place in the Old Bailey courtroom, where the defendant is none other than Sholmes himself, and the charge is the most mysterious murder. And in this case, naturally advocates for the defense against the unflappable Reaper, Lord Van Zeeks. But Sholmes' testimony calls the true culprit of the crime into question. My God. What's going on? Date unknown. The Old Bailey courtroom. What's going on? This court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Herlock Sholmes. This is a most extraordinary case of murder. Counsels, I assume I may proceed. Yes, my lord. The defense is ready. At your discretion, my lord. Very well. I hereby call on the prosecution to introduce the case. The incident in question took place 2 days ago, late at night, when the ground was blanketed with snow. The location of the incident was the residence of the accused, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Indeed, the now famous address of number 221B, Baker Street, was it? The address may have enjoyed fame once, my lord, but will henceforth endure infamy for this grim crime. Yes, well put. The victim, a certain Madame Rosé, was found asphyxiated on the accused's sofa. My word.
Objection!
But it's unclear as to whether the victim was actually killed in the defendant's suite or not. After all, when Mr. Sholmes left the room for only a brief moment, Madame Rosie somehow vanished herself out of his room completely. Wait, what? Vanish herself, Counsel? The victim? Quite true, my lord. There is but one adjoining door between my drawing room and kitchen. Yet, having brewed some tea in the kitchen, I returned to find the room completely empty. There was nobody else present. Ordinarily, my fellow lodger, Iris, would have been at home. However, on the day in question, she had been invited to a meeting of a scientific society in the city. Oh, I'm afraid you have a propensity for exaggeration, sir. You claim the victim vanished herself, but really? It seems to me entirely plausible that she chose to leave via the main entrance to your suite. As it happens, my lord, the door to the accused room was locked at the time, from the inside. Very true, Inspector. As such, I can say with considerable certainty that the victim did not leave via my front door. Wait, she was inside, no? Wasn't she? Oh no, the door was locked after she left. I got wrong. But what about? Oh yes, she could have snuck out through a window.
Objection!
The windows in the room were not locked, it's true, and the victim had the opportunity. However, there was snow all around the building outside, and no patch of it had been disturbed. Would my learned friend care to explain how the victim could have left without leaving a trail? So the victim, Madame Rosie, somehow vanished from the scene before she was killed? Wait, how do they know she was killed if she's not there? Oh. Naturally, I was alarmed by the sudden disappearance of my guest. So I summoned this gentleman, who resided in the attic room, above my own, and we took a cab to Scotland Yard. I can confirm that. The defendant called for me, and I saw his suite on my way downstairs. And yes, I'm quite sure it was empty, just as Mr. Sholmes has said. When we reached the yard, this very detective happened to be there. Oh, well, yes, you see, I was just in my office for a while, having got back from some important business. And then, having explained the situation to the inspector, we travelled back to Baker Street together. At the time, there were no footprints in the snow around the building other than the ones we'd made. Do I take it then, Counsel, that you personally witnessed the scene where the incident took place? No, my lord. I went straight up to bed in my own room in the attic. Inspector Gregson, however, was met with a most blood-curdling sight. On Mr. Sholmes' sofa, the vanished Madame Rosie motionless. So the victim was already dead when you discovered her, Inspector? No, my lord, not dead, but not far from it. Not far of it. She mustered all her remaining strength to say these dying words. Oh, that trotter Sholmes will be the death of me. Rotter? Yes, I have overheard that remark at the time too, delivered in a rasping voice, full of malice. No. Those words indeed proved to be her last. The victim expired moments later, there on the sofa. The cause of death was identified as damage to the respiratory tract as a result of strangulation. My God. Pray, does the accused dare to contest the inspector's account? Certainly not. In fact, the inspector has done an unusually fine job of summarizing the salient points. Sholmes would be the death of me. Damning departing words indeed. In her final moments, the victim named her killer. You, Mr. Sherlock Sholmes. There wasn't those dramatic zooms in during the game. That's weird. Zoom ins.
Objection!
But the defendant had no reason to take the victim's life. Perhaps you could tell the court, Mr. Sholmes, who exactly this Madame Rosie was. Ah, yes, of course. Did I never mention her to you? I'd extended an invitation to her that evening, though she is loquacious in the extreme. The most trivial of matters quickly become a quarrel. I was only too pleased to leave her presence to make tea. Oh, great. It would appear then that the accused did in fact have a motive for silencing this arrested guest permanently.
Objection!
Putting the tenuous motive aside, what about the other mysteries surrounding the case? I'm inclined to agree with the defense. There remain a number of inscrutable details. The victim's alleged disappearance and subsequent reappearance, leaving no trail or footprints, for example. That's right. The crime described by the prosecution could never have happened. Yet the victim named the accused in her dying breath. It seems to me that my learned friend has overlooked a significant detail here. Nonsense. What have I overlooked? The man in the dock, the so-called great detective, all too frequently makes the following bold claim. There is no crime beyond the realms of possibility, no mystery beyond my powers of reasoning. So, Mr. Sholmes will have no difficulty in explaining how the crime that's described could have taken place. Therefore, I propose a toast to the great detective upholding his name. But of course, were I to put my mind into the matter, the crime would immediately appear to all present to be entirely feasible. Oh, please, Mr. Sholmes, whose side are you on? All you need to say is, no, even I can't think of a way that a crime like that could have been committed. Let the accused's admission to be... Wait. Let the accused's admission... Accused's admission be noted by the court. Though the crime may appear impossible to us mortals of inferior mental capacity, this man alone claims to know exactly how it was done.
Hold it!
Now, hold on. That's thank you, counsels. I believe I heard more than enough to proceed to my adjudication. What, really? The accused great detective did, in some inscrutable manner, willfully murder the victim, Madame Rosie. I therefore find the defendant... wait, what? No! Let this man be taken from this courtroom, and in some equally inscrutable manner be sanctioned for his crime. Court is adjourned. Really? Is that all?
Hold it!
Oh. My lord, please. The truth about the mysteries surrounding this case are known to another besides the great detective. What's this? Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo, you are coming along wonderfully. You've deduced a fundamental truth about this case, I believe. Which would be, detective, that the truth of this case is known only to the true culprit, obviously. Is that not so, Gregson? Wait, what? What? Well, I suppose, yes. You don't mean... are you suggesting, Mr. Sholmes, that you have an idea as to what actually happened that night? An idea? My dear fellow. I could explain the entire incident from start to finish, with not a single detail omitted. My God.
Objection!
It seems the detective has failed to grasp the situation. Pray, Mr. Reaper, which of us has truly failed to grasp the situation? I wonder. Then answer me this. You claim that prior to the incident, the victim suddenly vanished without a trace from your room. If so, how exactly did Madame Rosie disappear? Why, naturally, by the window. It was ajar after all. But that can't be. The room is a whole story above street level. And anyway, no prints were found in the snow. There are any number of ways one could avoid leaving tracks in the snow, surely? Such as? Such as flying, for instance. Wait, what? A fatuous notion. And to where do you propose the victim flew, Mr. Sholmes? Is it not entirely plain? To the culprit's abode, of course. For having left my suite, that is clearly where Madame Rosie was murdered. Take a moment to consider the cruel irony, if you will. By her own volition, she flew directly to her death.
Objection!
Do you forget, detective? The victim's corpse was discovered on your own sofa. No doubt because her killer carried her back there. But But what about the lack of footprints in the snow again then? There just weren't any. Other than our own from when we returned home ourselves. If by our footprints you refer to your own and mine, you are quite right. But there were those of another. On the night in question, there was one other person who could have conveyed the victim to my sofa. What? Good gracious, to whom do you refer, sir? A man whose somewhat unavailing presence at the scene of the crime would be questioned by no one. Unavailing? You don't mean... Indeed I do. A man who hastened to the scene directly upon learning of the incident at Scotland Yard. Namely... you, Inspector Gregson. Eh? When you arrived at my address on Baker Street, you were carrying the half-dead Madame Rosie with you. You waited for a suitable opportunity and then led the victim on my sofa. He did what?
Objection!
But we were with the inspector when he arrived. How could he possibly have carried the victim? How could he possibly have been carrying the victim? We would have noticed. My dear fellow, a most obvious answer presents itself, does it not? The inspector is rarely, if ever, without his overcoat. The victim was simply conveyed in one of his many pockets. Well, what? It's a very tiny victim. Oh, Madame Rose is a parrot. My God. I fail to see what makes this detective great, but I can say one thing with great certainty. A human body cannot fit into the pocket of cannot fit in the pocket of an overcoat. I believe you may all have fallen foul of a rather significant misapprehension. What? Madame Rosie was not a human. I beg your pardon. Mr. Sholmes. Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Something troubles you, perhaps. Oh, whatever gives you that idea? Oh, exactly what sort of creature was Madame Rosie? Is it not apparent already? A parakeet, of course! Huh? A most self-conceited specimen, in fact. A parakeet. She was an incessant talker, I must say. Her manner was quite intolerable at times. Want to turn every conversation to a quarrel. I thought to strangle the creature on more than one occasion. Oh, you had a quarrel with the parakeet? But of course! Why else would she have chosen to fly from my window so uncordially that evening? To the abode of the inspector here, beside me no less. To Inspector Gregson's abode? But why? Because that was the parakeet's home. Naturally. Would I? The inspector was called away from town for some days, so it was arranged that I would look after the bird. but it would appear that she was overcome with a sudden yearning for her keeper, thus prompting her flight from my comfortable suite to the inspector's office at Scotland Yard. Well, Gregson, I believe it's high time you explained. Give us your account of what happened that night, sparing no details, of course. Inspector Gregson? It was an accident. Got back from being away that evening, you say? I just walked through the door of my office. Have I imagined Madame Rosie would be on her way back to the yard as well? I slammed the door shut behind me, just as she was trying to fly through it. So, Madame Rosie. She got sandwiched between the door and the frame and fell to the floor. My God, the poor bird. Never to move again. Because of me. Well, never. I had to do something. And just when I was trying to think of a plan, you fellas arrived talking about some incident at Baker Street. Huh. I had to hide Madame Rosie in a hurry. So I stuffed her in my coat pockets and got into the cab with the pair of you. What could possibly have motivated you to behave in such a manner, Inspector? Hello, Strongheart, sir. What? Not Strongheart? Oh, please tell me I didn't hear that right. Oh, it was the Lord Chief Justice who asked me to look after the bird in the first place. She'd been living with the pigeons at the Supreme Court until then. But apparently, the other birds had started to pick on her. So, for the past 6 months or so, I've been caring for her in my office at the yard. Oh, I see. Oh, if anything happened to the bird, just imagine. And no pay and no time off for the rest of my career. You mark my words, that's what's gonna happen. Oh, that's why but the victim's dying words, Inspector. The court heard earlier that Madame Rosie spoke the name of her assailant on her deathbed. That rotter, Sholmes, will be the death of me. Indeed she did. Quite uncalled for, wouldn't you agree? But those words are your true feelings, are they not, Inspector? Clearly, you speak of me often at your office at the yard, in this disparaging manner. A man that the merry parakeet took much delight in mimicking. Well, come on. I mean, have you read this month's edition of Rand's magazine, eh? I'm sorry. This is all absolutely true. Wait, what? Something wrong, Lord Francisque? No, nothing. I almost drifted off for a moment there. Wait, what? Oh, it's hard not to drift off when you've been when you've been kept waiting 3 hours already. I wonder if we'll manage to meet with Lord Strongheart at all today. We may have to deliver the report on the Windybank case that he asked for on another day. Tell me, Inspector, what became of that bird? Oh, Madame Rosie, you mean? Oh, she had a narrow escape, but she's still alive. I delivered her back here not long ago, actually, on Lord Strongheart's orders. He's hoping the pigeons will accept her now. It was something of a shock to hear that she'd been crushed in the doorway of your office. Especially as we were all under the misapprehension that Madame Rosie was a person. Oh, sorry about that. It was Strongheart's demand that, Good. You're here. I apologize for my tardiness. I'm exactly 3 hours, 24 minutes, and 57 seconds late. Oh no, my lord, no. Please don't trouble yourself. Nothing gives us greater pleasure than standing here doing nothing for hours on end. Heartening. So, let's hear it then. Your report. The Windybank trial is concluded, but this is far from over. It seems that Dark, Far Eastern lawyer, and I have some shared destiny. We will meet again, of that I have no doubt. Did you see that, Lord Van Zees? Did you? Madame Rosie went flying off amongst the pigeons there. Happy as a Mary she was. I didn't see. Really, Inspector, she must be relieved. Ace Aficionado. Wait, what? I got an achievement for that? Oh well, okay. That was it then. I gotta say, those weren't the greatest stories, but well, it was fun to get back to that. Alright then, it's gonna be all for tonight. I don't know what we're gonna play next. I gotta figure that out. So, in the meantime, please take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.